At noon, the very latest on a tense situation at the United Nations. A total of 4...
Entertainment television. I think it's belief in being focused. And also knowing that, you know, my dream was not to be Miss America. My dream was to be successful as an actor and a singer and a dancer.
I always have to do better than the next girl just to be considered equal, just on the basis of my color.
No, I mean, I think that I asked for a family and a career, and it's all come, and I'm grateful, but you don't realize how hard it is until you try to juggle everything.
He's a sweetheart. It's been a pleasure working with him.
I just wanted to do a good job because I knew people would expect less than I was going to give anyway. So I kind of wanted to surprise a lot of people and more or less blow them away.
Vanessa Williams. She became famous overnight as the most controversial Miss America ever. She rebuilt her image and her career with hit records, Broadway musicals, and blockbuster movies. You'll hear how she worked her way back to the top in the next half hour on Vanessa Williams Uncut.
This on Talk Soup or something.
Get comfortable.
Life, secrets, love,
Passion, business,
career, relationship, dream, future, life,
uncut.
Hi everyone, I'm Eleanor Mondale. Welcome to Vanessa Williams Uncut. Guess where we are today? That's right, the Adventure Room at Planet Hollywood in Beverly Hills, because Vanessa Williams' career has been quite an adventure. I caught up with her recently on the set of her movie Hoodlum. Let's see, it's a lovely day and the heat seems to be going away, which is good. Did you ever imagine when you were a little girl that you would have all this? I mean, almost in every area of the entertainment field, you're succeeding.
Yeah, I imagined it and I wanted it and I dreamt about it. So it's all a matter of visualization and it was part of my environment. I grew up 45 minutes outside New York City. I went to see Broadway shows every year and watched a lot of great films and musical theater. And I ended up doing a lot of shows in college and high school and summer theater. And it's all a working experience, but I always knew that I wanted to be involved in this business in every aspect, and it's wonderful to have the freedom of choice to do the kind of album that I do when I want to do it, to be able to take the time to make a movie because it's interesting and I think that I have something to offer and I don't have to be locked into doing one thing all the time and really get burned out.
Vanessa Lynn Williams grew up in Millwood, New York, a quiet town on the bank of the Hudson River. Her parents were both music teachers. The future recording artist who would earn 7 Grammy nominations for her gold and platinum selling albums started training early.
Both my parents are music teachers, so growing up, I played piano and French horn until I graduated high school, and that was a requirement in our household. And like 7th, 8th grade, it's not cool to play an instrument anymore. It was cool in elementary school, but like middle school, I wanted to draw my instrument, and my parents said, no, you can't. It's a requirement in our household, and you've got to continue until you graduate high school. And I remember hating that, hating to practice, and hating being uncool. But as an end result, I ended up playing French horn for 8 to 9 years. I can read music. I've had wonderful experiences in high school, playing in orchestras and concert bands and jazz bands, and it's something that those memories and those friends I still have from the brass section, the percussion section, with the crazy jokes and the pranks we used to pull. Marching band. Those are all things that are wonderful memories of my childhood that I'm glad they forced me to stick with it because I wouldn't have those memories.
She went to Syracuse University and while in college entered the Miss Syracuse beauty pageant to win some much-needed scholarship money. She won that title as well as Miss New York State. 6 months after starting on the beauty circuit, she was crowned the first African-American Miss America.
I was a 20-year-old junior from Syracuse, musical theater department. So it really didn't hit me for quite a while. And it probably had an effect when I saw people that were, or elderly women who would come up in tears and say, I never thought I'd see you in my lifetime, and I'm so happy and proud of you. That's when it kind of sunk in, well, maybe this is a big deal. Because in terms of being Miss America, that was never my goal in life, but accomplishing it and living it affected a lot of people. So I think seeing people's reaction kind of sunk it in and made me realize what a big accomplishment it was.
But controversy would end Vanessa's reign prematurely. Nude photographs taken of her and another model surfaced in Penthouse magazine, and she was given 72 hours to resign.
How are you going to handle if one day they come and ask you, your daughters, well, Mommy, what happened when you were Miss America?
How am I going to handle it? Honestly, you know, as honestly as possible. I mean, certainly, I'm sure either some idiot kid is going to introduce that to them, which is going to be probably unfortunate. But you know, I definitely think that they're going to have such a great sense of who they are as people, who the family unit is, and such pride that I think, you know, if you treat kids with honesty and be direct with them, they can't resent you for trying to play games or not giving them the full picture. So I think if I'm honest, they'll get it and move on. Yeah.
And I'd imagine you learned a lot. You learned what you had to learn and you moved on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's certainly not a learning experience that I'd like to relive, or if I had a chance to do it all again, I'd definitely change a lot of things. But yeah, you have to keep on, especially in life. You know, if there's a death in the family, you know, everyone is confronted with major catastrophes in their life. They're all, you know, different experiences, but you got to keep moving on if you want to live and if you want to prosper and if you want to be healthy. You know, I was lucky enough to be able to work, be as bits and pieces. You know, I mean, I finally believe that I'm able to work at the things that I really want to do now. But you know, for the past 6 or 7 odd years, I've been able to work, which has kept my you know, sanity. I think if I couldn't do anything and had to give up my whole dream, then I would be a basket case. But you know, in my heart, I knew that I eventually would be able to do what I want to do, a matter of time and a matter of perseverance and getting the right shots.
Vanessa Williams returned her Miss America crown and began the long road to rebuilding her image. And she did it in a way that surprised everyone, including Vanessa. Stay with us.
So I kind of wanted to surprise a lot of people and more or less blow them away.
This Sunday, a legend.
He was not just...
Hey, welcome back. You're watching Vanessa Williams Uncut. I'm Eleanor Mondale. Now, by the age of 21, Vanessa had won and lost the title of Miss America. But in a few short years, she bounced back in a way she never imagined. When Vanessa hired a publicist to coordinate the press conference where she resigned as Miss America, she chose Ramon Hervé. It was a business relationship that quickly turned into much more.
We started off as my publicist, and basically we've been working together for 7 years, which is quite amazing. I don't know whether a lot of people stay business partners for 7 years, but we've managed to stick it out. He started managing me, I guess, about 4 years ago, so we've more or less always had a personal and business relationship, which, you know, sometimes it's hard trying to figure out your boundaries, you know, when you want your husband, you know, to not talk about any business at all, and when you just want your husband to be your husband, and when you want your manager to give you input and support. So I wish I had the answer to, you know, how do you make it work, because I think we're still learning and struggling, but you know, I certainly think that when he started managing me, he believed in the vision too, and I didn't have to beg or convince anyone, please manage me, because I know I can do this and I need you to believe me. He understood the vision, and he was there to actively help me, you know, see it out. So he's done a wonderful job.
At first, Ramon tried to get Vanessa acting work, but the parts of African American women in the early 80s were scarce.
I think when I came out, maybe there was like one Eddie Murphy project a year, and if you didn't get that, you would not be seen, more or less, unless you were a whore or a secretary or a girlfriend of, you know, some other character. So it is wonderful that more black producers and directors are getting a chance to put some product out there.
Vanessa decided to establish herself as a recording artist, something that she had never considered before.
My background is, you know, that I, you know, grew up loving theater and singing and dancing and acting, and I didn't want to be a recording star. That was never in my picture. My picture was to be on Broadway, to be an actress, to be in films, and
And it's funny that I've had success as a recording artist because singing was something that I love, but it certainly wasn't what I felt my forte was. My forte was being able to do it all together on stage as a musical theater person.
She found trying to convince record companies to give her a record deal no easy task.
Yeah, which is all kind of funny because when I was trying to get a record deal, the only songs that I had on tape were musicals that I had done and show tunes, and no one could really see the vision of me as a pop star. So, 8 to 10 years later, I'm finally getting a chance to not only do my music, but also do what I know and love, which is musical theater.
She did eventually win a contract for her 1988 debut album, The Right Stuff. One thing was for certain, Vanessa's album was going to be done Vanessa's way.
Yeah, I think that I first thought, this album's got to be good because it's going to get a lot of attention, and, I wanted to make sure that, people knew that I was a musician, and I think the bottom line is it was just a matter of taste. I wouldn't really compromise in doing, some disco garbage just to put a single out or just to put something quick. And I think it worked. We waited for good songs. There were some songs that I fought to get on the album because even though I didn't think they were commercial hits, I knew that they represented a side of me that people hadn't heard and reflected my musical likes and dislikes. So I just wanted to do a good job because I knew people would expect less than I was going to give anyway. So I kind of wanted to surprise a lot of people and more or less blow them away.
Vanessa's follow-up albums included The Comfort Zone and The Sweetest Days, earning her several Grammy nominations. Her single, Save the Best for Last, went gold after several weeks as a #1 hit.
Well, I'm glad my intuition and my instincts were true about it because it's a simple song, but I knew it was going to be a hit. I had no idea how massive it would become, but I'm glad that I had the right feeling and the right vibe that day in the studio, and the rest is history, I guess. I'd say more recently, a lot of little kids love Save the Best for Last, and I had a 5-year-old sing it to me when I was doing a poster shooting, and she said, "Mommy, I thought she was going to sing with us." And I pulled her aside, and her mother had promised that I was there to sing with her, and she sang the whole song to me, and it was like, it broke my heart. It was amazing that she knew the lyrics, but also that she was 5 years old and she could connect with the lyrics.
But making hit records wasn't the only career path Vanessa had in mind. She also was becoming a successful actress. When we come back, we'll see how she had a great success thanks to a very famous friend who she didn't even know she had. Stay with us.
He's got this, this aura about him that you really feel, that the king has arrived and now we're ready to do some business.
Room, by the way, but I digress. While Vanessa was on her way to becoming a super singing star, she was also pursuing an acting career. She got little parts here and there, was steadily getting better and better until Arnold Schwarzenegger had her co-star with him in the blockbuster hit Eraser. She told us what it was like. Okay, so now Eraser is this huge, giant movie, and you hadn't done a movie in a long time. How has the success of that movie affected your life?
So far, it's been pretty minimal. I mean, I've had, each year gets better and better and bigger and brighter, so a lot of people have seen the movie, but a lot of people also were aware of, the other film and television work that I've done and had seen me on Broadway, so it just adds more people to the party, and it's better for me.
So does that mean more movie scripts are coming in?
I think better roles and actually similar roles are coming in, which is kind of interesting. When you play a strong woman who's intelligent, all of a sudden you're getting lawyers and attorneys, and bankers and high-level executives because, if you play convincingly, you kind of get the same thing. So this is wonderful because I get a chance to play somebody who's intelligent, but also in a different time period. Who's got a softer side and allows me to act as opposed to just slinging a gun.
Yeah, now speaking of slinging guns, what was it like working with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
He's wonderful. He really is a true leader, professional. Everyone says he's got to be a nice guy, down to earth, and he really is. And, some people are different than what their perception is on screen. He's a great guy.
It is great to be here, and I have to tell you that Vanessa has been the most incredible woman to work with, the most talented woman, and I'm very happy that I've worked with her. She brings so much to the film, and hopefully we will work together again. Maybe we'll do a sequel.
We'd love that,
with slow foreheads.
Now, was this a first action film for you?
No, actually, the first film I ever did was an action film, but the budget was certainly not where it was on Eraser, and I did that 10 years ago in '86, so that was called Under the Gun. Yeah. So it's been 10 years from that to Eraser, but there's something really exciting about the power of being strong, carrying a loaded weapon, driving a car, doing stunts, and having them look natural and pay off. So I certainly would do it in the future.
Now, up to Eraser, Vanessa had been acting, but never in a role or movie this big. How did she get the part? Well, the suggestion came from someone very close to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Very close.
Well, I was suggested by Maria Shriver, apparently.
I understand you had a lot to do with the casting of some of this movie.
I made a suggestion, and he listened, and he's always very good about trying to include me.
With Vanessa Williams, you wanted her for the part.
I wanted her badly.
That's great.
I thought she's great.
The first time we did our screen test together, we were sitting down there setting up the lights and stuff, and Arnold had made a connection which I hadn't even thought about. He said, people perceived me as Mr. Olympia, and it was a long time before people would understand my path in life. And I took myself, from a farm boy in Austria and made something out of myself, and people only saw the label, and obviously after a lot of hard work and determination, he is who he is. And he said he felt that I had the similar path and qualities that he had.
Vanessa's next co-star was Academy Award nominee Lawrence Fishburne in the period drama Hoodlum. Now, why did you pick this film?
Why did I pick it? Because it was a nice, it was a nice step to go to after being involved in an action adventure. There are scenes that I get a chance to act in, and not only react to situations, but Lawrence Fishburne was really the #1 reason why I chose this film. He's an incredible actor, and he really, working with him, he makes you step up to the plate and makes you swing, and it's nice to be challenged, and he certainly does that.
Well, Eraser was a huge hit, and that gave Vanessa Williams successful careers as a singer, Broadway star, and actress. But we're saving the best for last, because she's got one more career I bet you didn't know about, and she says it's her toughest one. Stay with us. You're doing all these things. You have the movie, and you have the music, and you have all kinds of other things that you're working on. How do you find time to balance that with free time, family life, anything you like to do?
Here's what's new at E! Online. This week in Q&A.
I'm Mondale, and you're watching Vanessa Williams Uncut. Even while becoming a star in music, movies, and the theater, Vanessa Williams still found time to get married and raise a family. How does she do it? Vanessa married Ramon Hervé, her business manager. Their family grew to include 3 children. You're doing all these things. You have the movie, and you have the music, and you have all kinds of other things that you're working on. How do you find time to balance that with free time, family life, anything you like to do?
Free time, I don't know what that is. Family life, I incorporate into my schedule. My son is here, my daughter's in sleepaway camp, and when they get out, they'll come here and visit. So you just kind of take the whole family on the road and do it.
Do they come on the movie set, and do they watch you in the recording studio?
Yeah, they've been in every aspect. They've been in videos, they've been on sets, I've recorded on, they're in my Christmas album. So they're not only, observers, but they're participants. Maybe because I'm in the limelight or in the entertainment business, it seems a lot more glamorous, but it's just, I go home and, if the diaper needs to be changed, I got to do it. I can, forget whatever I just did in the studio or how great, a praise I got, 5 minutes before. Kids bring you right back to the present and make you, realize that life is there to be lived and you got a responsibility.
If you had free time,
right,
what kind of things would Vanessa Williams like to do in her free time?
When I do have free time, I recently got into horseback riding, which I absolutely love. I've always wanted a horse and grew up, taking lessons at camp and stuff, but to be able to ride every week and go out on the trails, and it's English, and it's just feeling wonderful. So that's my new obsession. I started skiing again this winter, so
hopefully I won't injure myself so I can continue having a prosperous career in the entertainment business.
Well, we're almost out of time, but there's one thing that I think I should clear up before I go. There are actually two famous Vanessa Williamses. The other one is on Melrose Place, and the two of them get each other's mail and phone calls. It's all very confusing. So you can stop doing that now. Anyway, thanks for watching Vanessa Williams Uncut. I'm Eleanor Mondale, and I will see you next time. Is there anything else you want to do that you haven't done?
I would love to originate a role on Broadway. I've been on Broadway in Kiss of the Spider Woman, but I'd love to originate a new role in a new production on Broadway, which would be always a dream of mine since I grew up in New York and saw everyone from Gregory Hines and Stephanie Mills and, great people. I'd love to, continue in doing a variety of things in feature films. I'd love to do a jazz album, a Brazilian album, all the artsy stuff that doesn't sell a lot of records, but it's satisfying for your soul. And, enjoy, the freedom that I do have now.
Can you sing for us, Melody?
Let's sing.
Twinkle,
Sing.
twinkle, little star.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Yay! Yes, very
Can you do
good.
Eensy Weensy Spider? Eensy Weensy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider. Up came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the eensy beensy spider went up the spout again.
Yay! That's very good. Come on, and do the right stuff.
The right stuff, baby. You do that one?
Coming at you from the E Studios in LA.